Today, we're starting off with Simon Borg-Olivier on calm and energized, a nervous system reset. Simon is the best person to talk to us about it. If you don't know about him, he's an MSc, a physiotherapist and yoga teacher, and he has taught and studied traditional posture, movement, breathing, meditation. He's been involved with great masters from Tibet, Japan, India, China, more than 40 years on his back doing this stuff. He's a research scientist, he's a physiotherapist, he lectures in university, and he has often been invited to teach at conferences internationally since the 90s. Simon is also co-director of Yoga Synergy, which is one of Australia's oldest yoga schools. He combines modern medical science with traditional practices, and he creates loving connections with the self for internal health and happiness, and as a model of how we can be in the world. So I'm super excited to have you, Simon. Thank you for joining us.
With you, what I want to share is the idea that people are happiest, healthiest, live the longest when they have two important things inside their body. One is you want to have energy flowing through your body, and the other is you want to be as relaxed as possible. And these two things are often not done at the same time. For example, exercise has got some benefits. It does make blood flow. People talk about cardio a lot, the importance of getting blood flowing. But the problem is when people exercise to get blood flowing, the heart rate is elevated usually. And this usually implies stress. And stress has long-term negative implications on your mind, on your physical body and your physiological body, energy levels, internal organ systems, etc. So while exercise can be good for you, not everyone does it because it doesn't always feel nice, and the long-term problems are also there as well. Then things that are good for your body include things like sleep and meditation because they make you relaxed. They'll encourage a dominance of that rest, rejuvenation, relaxation response inside your body. But the problem is they're not going to usually make you strong. They're not going to usually give you flexibility. They're not going to usually get your blood to flow. And often when you see people in the typical meditative stances that they do, sitting on a floor or sitting on a chair, often if the weather gets cold, they cover themselves with blankets. Now me, you heard from the introduction, I've had teachers from incredible masters from Tibet and elsewhere. And when they first showed me someone meditating, they showed me a person sitting naked in the snow. And my first thought was, meditation must be difficult because to be naked in the snow and still be warm, that's special. And actually that's what's missing in most people's meditation is the ability to move blood easily through your body without making your heart race. And if you can do both these things at the same time, be relaxed as if you are sleeping or meditative, but be energized so blood is flowing through your body, easily, effortlessly, without the heart racing. They're the two most important things to give you long-term health, happiness, and longevity. And I've got many ways of trying to achieve this, but I'm going to give you one important way. And this is where we're going to access 12 key places inside your body, which can be called the bridges between your conscious and your unconscious. So do what you can with me, but don't do anything which feels uncomfortable. What I'll offer you first is the concept, what a bridge is like. So what I want you to feel first is take your elbow and just simply bend your elbow, straighten your elbow, bend your elbow, straighten it, and now just watch and wait. Is the elbow going to bend by itself? Probably not, because the elbow bending muscle is a consciously controlled muscle. And so consciously controlled muscles, you usually have to think about using them and they'll be used. Now, there are other types of muscles inside the body, like, for example, muscles that line the blood vessels going through your brain. So in the arteries going to your brain, in your neck here, if those arteries are expanded, blood goes easily to the brain. But if those arteries are constricted, because the muscles inside those blood vessels tighten, then you'll get less blood to your brain. So I invite you now, constrict the arteries inside your brain, tighten the muscles in those arteries inside your brain. Well, obviously you can't, because these muscles are not under conscious control. they're under unconscious or autonomic or automatic control. And so that means that we can't access them very easily. But there is a third group of muscles. The third group of muscles inside the body are bridges between your conscious and your unconscious because we have dual control. And dual control is in something like your eyes. What I want you to do is open and close your eyes. Open, like blinking. And when you do that, you do it consciously. You blink a few times. Try that. Blink, blink, blink. Now, imagine what happens if someone were to come up to you and take their hands and slap in front of your face. Would you blink? Invariably, if it's a real face, not a camera, you're going to blink because blinking is a reflex that can be done automatically, but it can also be done consciously. Blinking is a bridge between conscious and unconscious. And many people talk about breathing as being the link between conscious and unconscious. So we could explore that as well. But people misunderstand breathing because the more you breathe, the more it's an expression of your body's lack of fitness and sickness. So it's not about breathing as such. The less you breathe, the fitter you are. So many people tell you, oh, you should breathe more. But logically, we know that people who run fast and hardly breathe at all, they're called fit, healthy people. Whereas people who walk slowly going, you go, oh, they're going to die soon because they're so unfit. So logically, it's not the more you breathe, the better you are. It's the less you breathe, the healthier you are, provided you're doing more things. But what is the link between conscious and unconscious with respect to your breathing is a muscle which we term to be called the diaphragm. The diaphragm sits between your lower ribs and your abdomen, and it's shaped like a dome. And when you breathe in using your diaphragm, the diaphragm moves down, and that moving down will cause a suction-like effect to pull air into your nose or mouth if it's open. But as the diaphragm moves downwards, it increases the pressure in your abdomen. So you can feel your diaphragm work if you take your fingers and touch your pubic bone. So find your navel in the middle of the abdomen and find your pubic bone. Then put your fingers just above the pubic bone into your lower abdomen, as you see me do. Now, with your fingers into your soft lower abdomen, now breathe in. And when you breathe in, if it's a natural, relaxing breath, you should feel your belly expand like a balloon. See if you can do that. Just keep completely relaxed. It helps if you bend your knees slightly. So let your sitting bones just go down a little bit. And you can do that by bending the knees a little bit, dropping your sitting bones down. The sitting bones can be like a weight on a string, which is your spine. That releases your lower back. Move the top of your hips slightly back, with your ribs slightly back, and with your knees slightly bent, it lessens the stress in the front of the hips, which are often very tight from seated postures that we do too much of. Now put your fingers in the lower abdomen and breathe in. And as you breathe in, it should feel like your belly expands and bloates, like you see mine, like a baby's belly, a Buddha belly. Buddha wasn't fat. Buddha was relaxed. Always remember that. Now, when your belly expands like that, that's your diaphragm working. What prevents your diaphragm working is often the thought that we should be breathing deeply into the chest. It's often the thought that we should harden the abdomen. It's often the thought that we don't want to let the belly hang out. But actually, healthy, natural people let their abdomens relax, just like children do. And when you're sleeping, remember, sleep is the deepest, most regenerative cycle we have. That's where the breath goes. So periodically, it's really useful to check, are you breathing diaphragmatically? And then just forget about it. So put your fingers in the lower abdomen, breathe into the lower abdomen, feel the belly expand like a baby's belly. And if you hold your hand in the chest, what you want to feel is a pure abdominal or diaphragmatic breath. The chest won't move at all. And that's called a relaxing diaphragmatic or abdominal breath. There's many different terms for this, but just suffice to say this is enough. Now, what prevents that? What I'd like you to try now is do some things that people often do that cause problems. Tighten your pelvic floor, for example. The pelvic floor is also a bridge between conscious and unconscious. So just for a moment, tighten your pelvic floor and tighten the abdomen. Pull your abdomen in the way many people do to look good. and hold their abdomen firm. Now, with the pelvic floor tight and abdomen hard, which is what many people teach and practice, now try and breathe into your abdomen. And notice if the breath goes higher up to your chest. If that's what's happened for you, that's just stress. So we don't want stress. That will also increase heart rate and prevent energy and blood flowing through your body. What I want you to feel in the practice that I'm going to share with you is that you stay relaxed. You can always breathe naturally, and you'll also connect with the other bridges between conscious and unconscious that I'm saying, but you'll get warm at the same time. So go back to your diaphragm. What makes the diaphragm work better is unlocking the knees. So bend your knees slightly, drop your sitting bones down like a weight on a string, which is your spine. Move the top of your hips back, lengthen your lower back, your lower front ribs inwards and backwards, lift and lengthen the upper back. Now breathe into the abdomen and let the air go out softly, relaxed. Now, when it goes out softly, you could just let it hang, let the abdomen just hang. Or if you want, you could learn how to roll the abdomen like babies roll their abdomen. And I'll show you this. I don't expect everyone to do it, but this is what sometimes you could learn to do. And that ability to roll the abdomen, that's something which is really useful. And you hear about it in many exercise classes. People say it's important to engage your lower abdomen. And if you see on me, my abdomen is fully relaxed, but when I engage my lower abdomen, the lower goes in, the upper doesn't. That's hard to do, but if you can do it, when you see me roll the abdomen like this, that's my signal to remind you, relax your abdomen and breathe naturally. It's okay to have the abdomen hard sometimes, but you've got to be hard, but still able to breathe into it. That's possible as well. Let's try that. Bend the knees slightly, drop your sitting bones down, round the back out, then just lean back. Face towards me is better, but I'm turning sideways so you can see me leaning back. So you push your hips forward, lean back a little bit, but don't collapse your lower back. Lift your collarbone, bring the chin in, and then relax. Move your fingers, move your shoulders, relax your neck, relax your pelvic floor, relax your face. Now breathe into your abdomen and check, can you breathe in the abdomen? The answer should be yes. But if you feel your abdomen, there is a firmness there because now your abdomen is firm but relaxed. Now come back up. You can have your abdomen firm, but you must be able to breathe into it. And there are many ways of making your abdomen firm and still being able to breathe into it. Just make sure you learn them, and there's something I can share with you later, perhaps. But for the moment, just focus on relax everything. So there are several places in the body which will also help connect conscious and unconscious. I'm going to give you 6 groups, which will sum to 12 places. Number 1 is your fingers. Spread your fingers. Now, I'm going to keep the hands up high. You can keep your hands by the side of the body. You can even do this sitting on a chair if you wish. So if you want to, sit on a chair. If you can, stand up with your knees slightly bent. And you can have your hands low by the side of the body, or you can bring your hands up high like me. Now, what I want you to do is to move your fingers. Keep them lengthened and make them move like you're playing a piano. Keep the fingertips lengthened and check they can move. Now, this will connect your thinking brain in your head to the extremities of your body, your fingers, and it resets your nervous system to parasympathetic dominance, that state of rest, rejuvenation, relaxation, regeneration. And at the same time, it makes blood flow. You'll start to get warmer. So you can have the hands resting by the side of the body. Hands can rest on your knees if you're seated. And you can also do this with your toes. So I'm also lifting thumb first, little finger last, but I'm also lifting big toe first, little toe last. So just doing this, you could be doing this with shoes on even. You could be doing this while waiting at a terminal, while waiting in the supermarket, and it moves blood and it helps connect you. So you can put that on hold for a moment. It's a bridge between conscious and unconscious. I'll give you a second one, the shoulders. Make your shoulders gently roll in a circle, not to stretch. You see, I'm rolling very small circles. I could make my shoulders roll big circles like this, but it becomes too much work. So how small can you roll your shoulders without tension, without stretch? And if you want, you can roll fingers and shoulders at the same time. So I go shoulders forward and down, shoulders backward and up. Fingers curl in, fingers curl out. So the fingers can be opening, closing like this. The shoulders can be rolling at the same time if you wish. And then what I want you to think next is, can you do the same with your hips? So if you're standing with the knees a bit bent, bring your hips over your toes and then come up on your heels. Go down on your toes, come up on your heels. Go down on your toes, come up on your heels. And as you're doing that, if you wish, you could add the fingers and the shoulders. So I go down, my fingers go down. I come up, my fingers open. Go down on your toes, close the fingers a little bit. Up on your heels, open the fingers a little bit. And then another place is your neck. So what I want you to do is to feel your neck is relaxed. And if your neck stays relaxed while you're moving like this, you want to feel your head always looks towards me. So as you're doing this movement, let the neck be free in a way that the neck moves in opposition to your body, so the eyes stay looking straight ahead. So you're doing here now a few things. Check your fingers are lengthened, but the fingers can move. Check your shoulders can roll, and they're free and relaxed without stretch or tension. Check your neck is relaxed, and it's also free to move up and down a little bit, so the eyes stay in line with your screen or camera. Fourth, check your pelvic floor is totally relaxed. No tension is necessary in the pelvic floor unless you feel that you're going to accidentally, and it sounds funny, go to the toilet. If you need to go to the toilet, go to the toilet. But then once you've done that, relax the pelvic floor. Most people are holding it too tight unnecessarily. And there's names for people like that. And they're not nice names. So relax your pelvic floor and move your hips. Go slower if you wish. Now lengthen your lower back, so as you move, the lower back must never crush. The lower back is the back of your core, your energy center, the back of the enteric nervous system or gut brain. So keep that part lengthened. And as you come up and down, always sense that your back stays lengthened, just below the level of the top of the hips. If I stand up fully straight, you see my lower back will pinch. That's how most people are. It comes as a result of sitting on chairs. So with the knees slightly bent, round out your lower back and relax your abdomen and move the lower back to always be open. And then if comfortable, make your abdomen gently breathe in and out without any tension. I'm not even thinking breathe. I'm just thinking relax my abdomen. And as my hips come up and down, that makes me breathe. Now, these are all fun things to do and you can keep doing them. But now I want to focus on the really fun bits, the face. Already, probably you're starting to feel warm and the heart's not racing. These are just simple resets. But now, focus on making saliva. Make saliva. Saliva comes either consciously when you choose to, provided you're relaxed, but saliva also comes when some really yummy food comes. So it happens unconsciously sometimes, but it can also happen consciously. So salivation is a bridge between conscious and unconscious. So make saliva. Now, you know, sometimes people have very tense jaws and lips, and they don't look relaxed. So what you want is to be a person who has very loose lips and loose jaw. So move your jaw a little bit. It's like, don't make it move so it's hard. Move it like you're chewing something soft, like banana, like ice cream, maybe warm ice cream. So chew a little bit. And when your jaw is loose, that will get rid of the tension that goes all the way to the head. And moving your jaw can also pump blood to your brain. It'll keep you young. It'll make your facial muscles also have a little bit more bone mineral density. And that means your face will stay looking young forever. Now, your lips are very important as well. The lips don't enjoy being clenched. Your lips are clenched. The body senses that you're stressed. The lips like being into a especially nice position. Smile. Kiss. Oscillate. Smile, kiss. It looks really stupid, doesn't it? I know. But my girlfriend hates this when I do this in public, but we're in the privacy of our own homes. So as you go up and down, smile, kiss. And make the eyes open and close. Not fully. As you come up, half open your eyes. As you go down, half close the eyes. As you go up, half smile. As you go down, half kiss. You don't have to do all these things at the same time. You can do one at a time. And now the inner eyes also are a bridge between conscious and unconscious. If you try and wake someone who's in their deepest sleep, and you try and open their eyes, you'll see their eyes are looking up at their third eye center. So what I want you to do, just pause briefly. Take your finger to use it if you want, or follow mine. Without tensing your forehead, look up at what would be 12 o'clock above you if you had a clock. Now look down at what would be 6 o'clock. Go up and down, up and down. But linear movements are not so good. So go up close to your nose, go down further away from your nose. So I'll turn sideways so you see. So come up with your eyeballs close to your nose, go down focusing further away from your nose. Like it's a circle, up close to your nose, down further away from your nose. Now, can you do that while going down with your hips, up with your hips? Can you go down with your fingers, up with your fingers? Can you move your shoulders down and up in conjunction with hips, with your arms, and keep your neck in the same spot? So we go through 6 key bridges between conscious and the unconscious. Can be done seated if you wish. 1, fingers lengthen, check the fingers can move, closing slightly on the way down, opening slightly on the way up. 2, keep your shoulders apart, check the shoulders can gently roll. Going up as the hips come up, going down as the hips go down. Check the shoulders are apart, shoulders can roll. 3, check your neck is lengthened and relaxed, and check that your neck is always looking straight ahead. So the same way that we walk and keep our head looking forward and doesn't go left and right as our legs go left and right, when you go up and down, keep your head in the same spot. Keep the neck free. Number 4, relax your pelvic floor and check your pelvis is really free, bending slightly at the hips and knees, but not much. Number 5, keep your lower back lengthened, and every once in a while check. When you breathe in, do you feel the breath low? When you breathe out, can you feel the air come out so softly, it's hardly any breath at all, like when you're asleep? Forget the breath, like when you're asleep. Then number 6 is your face. Check. You can make saliva. Your jaw can move like chewing yummy food. Your lips can move like kissing and smiling. And then half open the eyes, half close the eyes. Let the eyes go up as your body goes up. Let your eyes go down as your body goes down. You don't have to do all this at once. You can, and it's very powerful, but you can also do one at a time. Now, we can also do this with one hand at a time. So you can mirror image me if you like. Stop one hand and just do with the other hand. So you stay relaxed. Check 1, fingers are lengthened, fingers can move. Check 2, shoulders apart, shoulders can roll. Check 3, neck is lengthened, neck can gently move. Keep the eyes on me. Check 4, pelvic floor relaxed, the pelvis can gently roll. Check 5, lower back lengthened, and you can naturally, gently breathe into your abdomen or let the abdomen roll like mine. Check 6, face is relaxed, chew, kiss, smile, open, close eyes. Back to 2 hands, soften, go slower if you wish, approximate the movements. Now go to your second hand and check again. 6 key bridges between conscious and unconscious. 1, check fingers are lengthened and the fingers can move, opening and closing like playing a piano. Number 2, check your shoulders are soft, relaxed, and they're gently rolling like you would do if you're doing freestyle swimming or gentle walking backwards or something like this. Number 3, check your neck is soft, lengthened, but it's so free that it just keeps looking straight ahead. You can do this with a chicken. If you grab a chicken's body and move it, the neck stays in the same spot. It's like a steady cat. Number 4, relax your pelvic floor. Check the pelvis can move. Number 5, lengthen your lower back. Make sure the knees are bent enough that your lower back is lengthened and you can breathe naturally into your abdomen or roll your abdomen. Number 6, relax your face. Chew, kiss, smile. Now, both arms opposite, like gentle swimming, like gentle freestyle swimming, gentle movement. And check once again. Fingers are lengthened, fingers can move. Shoulders apart, shoulders can roll. Neck lengthened, but neck is free. Pelvic floor relaxed, but the pelvis can gently move. Lower back lengthened, but you can gently sense the in-breath into your lower back, into your lower abdomen. 6, face relaxed. Saliva, chew, kiss, smile, open, close your eyes. And now bring down your arms. And then come forward and up with your arms. Outward and up with your arms. Open the palms and bring the palms down. Bring your palms in closer. Bend the elbows and lead with the back of the hands. Go forward and then go outward. And then open the palms, come downward and come inward. Bring your palms almost to touch, but not quite. See if you can feel the warmth of blood between the hands. Keep the hands close. Move the fingers forward. Check the fingers can move gently. See if you can feel warmth of blood between the hands. Take the hands wider and roll the shoulders. Check the shoulders are free. See if you can feel the energy of the warmth of the blood between the hands. Come down. Let the neck relax. Feel like you're projecting energy out of your palms. Come in closer. Bring the hands almost to touch. And see if you feel again warmth between the hands. Move one hand up, one hand down. Can you feel a warmth of the blood between the hands? The blood contains electromagnetic radiation. Sometimes it feels almost like a magnet. Come forward again. One click means go up, go outward, up. Relax the shoulders. 2 clicks, go down. Let the neck relax. Face relaxed. One more time with me. Bring the hands close. 1 millimeter apart, perhaps without touching. One hand up, one hand down. See if you feel a sense of warmth or like a magnet between the hands as the hands pass, and an absence of it when the hands are not close. Now just take the arms by the side of the body. Let your legs straighten again for a moment or sit on a chair. Then with the fingers lengthened, just bend the knees just a tiny bit, just so you can drop your sitting bones. Lengthen your lower back. Lengthen your shoulders. Lengthen the back of the neck. Keep your lower front ribs in. Lengthen all the way to the tips of your fingers, but the fingers soft. Shoulders apart, shoulders soft. Neck lengthened, neck soft. Now expand your belly, chest, and lift your throat slightly. Now keep the inner eyes soft and just close your eyes just for another 10, 20 seconds, completely still, calm and quiet in body, breath, and mind. Be here, be now. And gently open your eyes. Thank you. I'm hoping you experienced a sense of the body being warm, like you've done some exercise, but in a completely non-stressful way. Perhaps like you're in a warm bath, being massaged by someone who loves you. I'm hoping you get the benefits of what exercise could offer and what could sleep and meditation offer at the same time. And the combination is an invitation for health, happiness, and longevity in your joints, in your internal organ systems, in terms of your energy, your vitality, and also mentally. This can make you pain-free and functional in your body. This can also give you lots of energy and vitality in your immune, digestive, reproductive systems. And that's a good recipe for keeping peaceful and calm in the mind by entering kind of flow state.
And I'll open it up to questions. Somebody came in late and was asking if this is Qigong, Simon. I'll start with that question.
What I'm trying to share with people is the common truth. The things that I found are being taught to me by all the great teachers I've had, including my first teachers were from Tibet, South Africa, Japan, India, and then the last 25 years I've worked with people from China as well. And I've also worked a lot with Western anatomists and physiologists and physiotherapists. So what I'm teaching is the common origin, and I've had influences from all cultures, So I just want to teach what works best for most people, most of the time, the modern body, the body that's really often stuck 5 to 15 hours a day in chairs. And the limitations of the modern body are being addressed by what I'm trying to offer. This is only a slight taste. If you go to my website, I've got so many other things on offer as well. But I find this is a great way to begin a practice. And you can put these things that I've given then into any posture. If you do movement-based practices, you can do it while you're moving. If you do static practices like simple stretching exercises or yoga-based movement like this, you can incorporate it into that. Once you understand this, it's also the secret how you can do very elaborate breath work. And it's also a real important step in therapy as well. So I use it for all sorts of things. Certainly, I've had some amazing Chinese teachers as well, but it's not specifically Qigong. And of course, Qigong has thousands and thousands of forms as well. But certainly, Qigong is very powerful. Yoga is very powerful. I think we've only had a taste in the West of what Qigong and yoga have to offer. And I think the Western interpretation of both of them have got some things that got missed. But really what we want is to feel the energy of Qigong, which we call Qi, which is the same energy that in India they call prana. And what we want is to feel that. And, this can be a manifestation of blood flow, and it can be a manifestation of electromagnetic energy inside the body and other energies that we don't know so well. So that's a short answer. I hope that gives you something at least.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Thank you. A person says that they noticed it was a bit hard to really release the abdominal when they stand. Any tips what they can do about that?
Yes, look, most people hold their abdomen way too tight. And if you see my abdomen like this, it's like this is the abdomen I can make hard, and it's a very strong abdomen. It's one of my strongest muscles. But it's important not just to have a strong abdomen, you must be able to relax it. So when I relax my abdomen, it's so jelly soft. It's just I can fully just completely soften it. So learning how to relax it, the first step is stop trying to overtense it. And what makes it more tense is tightening the pelvic floor. What makes it more tense also is the idea that we have to lock our knees and stand up straight. Often if you stand up straight and pull the shoulders back and down, as many people do, it will crush your lower back. And that forces people to tighten their abdomen. And it's also people think they should have the abdomen tight. But if you do what I was suggesting, have the knees slightly bent, drop the sitting bones down, and just relax the abdomen like a baby's belly, that will help. And massaging the abdomen helps. I often get people to take their abdomen with their fingers and just massage it with their fingers in like that. That's a good tip like that. There's many things you can do. I mean, finger massage is very simple like that. What I do is actually put my whole body weight on my abdomen and relax fully. And then I just let my whole abdomen just soften and sink. And eventually you can have the whole body weight on a fully relaxed abdomen like this. But the first step is just massage with your fingers. That will help as well. And breathe into the abdomen. It's a step for most people that will take a while to learn.
Yeah. I see the hands as well. I'm trying to get through as many questions as possible. There is a question about how to release sacrum if it's stuck for this.
Okay, so if your sacrum is stuck, one of the things you need to do is, if I'm standing on my right leg, by turning my left thigh inwards. Now notice when I'm doing it, I think you can see me from here. If I hold my left hand on my left hip and turn my left thigh inwards, I'm not moving my pelvis. It's the thigh, the ball and socket joint. And when you round your back slightly out, and maybe you want to hold a wall, by turning your thigh inwards, that will lengthen and traction the sacroiliac joint and open up your sacroiliac region. When you turn your thigh outwards, it compresses the sacroiliac joint. So this is a really useful thing to do to release your sacrum, but the combination of the two of them together is very important. And so this exercise that I was showing you of coming up on your heels and down on your toes, if as you come up, you try and turn your thighs slightly in, that releases your sacrum. And on the way down, you try and turn your thighs slightly out. So on the way up, I'm pushing my heels outward. On the way down, I push my heels inward. And this opens and closes your sacroiliac joint, provided your lower back is slightly rounded outwards. I go into this a lot more into my courses, but doing this, your sacrum frees up and it pumps blood into this very important part of your body. The sacroiliac joint is an important access point to your parasympathetic nervous system, that which gives you the state of rest, rejuvenation, relaxation, regeneration. And it's also, once you release it, you get rid of a lot of lower back pain and your legs become a lot stronger as well. That's a quick tip for that.
Thank you. So I
Breathing
think
there is important.
that answers your question. I'm going to give the floor really quickly, first of all, to Sally. If you can phrase your question in one sentence.
Hi, Simon. That was amazing.
Hi, Sally. Bless you.
I work with people who are surgeons, doctors, in exams, in very tough situations where they're being watched. Some of these movements, which are the top three that can be kind of invisible to other people, but still calm us down, but keep us alert?
The top three, look, I put them into these 5 groups, and many people find the 5 groups, one is better than the other. So if people can't see you, you might have your hands behind the back, just lengthen the fingers and start to move them. That helps. Otherwise, you could be just standing there and just relax your shoulders and very gently. See, I'm moving my shoulders now, but it might not be noticeable to other people. Or you could stand and just move your neck. So sometimes just very gently moving your neck. Like in India, I broke my neck. And when I went to India, my neck got fixed in India, because in India, they're always moving their neck. So just to sort of be talking to someone, you're a bit stressed, and just let your neck be a little bit more freer while you're talking to them. Or you turn your body, and as you turn your body, you keep your head in the same spot, your neck is loosening up. So moving your neck is very important. Then releasing the pelvic floor. And the pelvic floor will relax very nicely if you just let it relax and stop trying to clench it. That can be done and no one's going to notice. But by the combination of relaxing the pelvic floor and dropping your sitting bones down with your knees slightly bent, that's a killer combination. And then, of course, little gentle breaths into the abdomen, really powerful. But not too much. People overforce breathing. And the best is to have very little breathing. But when the breath starts, it should feel like it's happening low in your pelvic floor, your lower back and your abdomen. When you breathe out, it should be relaxing, not tense, not noisy. And it should be through the nose. And then the final thing, of course, is the face. So just reminding yourself to relax the face, relax your jaw, relax your lips, relax your eyes. And any one of those 6 groups there, which is actually 12 individual places, because pelvic floor has front, back, and middle, would be powerful. The top 3, it depends on the person, I find. Some people find it easier to work on one part than the other. That's probably the best I can offer.
Amazing. You're a star. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Catherine?
Simon, thank you so much. You blessed me last year and this year, and I've kept doing the figure of 8 with my skin.
That's so nice, Catherine. Thank you.
I'm mostly sitting down. I've got chronic fatigue syndrome, ME, so every sort of movement counts. And when you say soften the pelvic floor, I just wonder if, I hear the words and maybe something happens, but I wonder if you could expand on that. Like, how do I?
Okay. It's a funny one, because when I say to people, relax the pelvic floor, the biggest limitation comes with the idea that many instructors, exercise instructors, Pilates instructors, yoga instructors, have confused the pelvic floor with something that has to be tightened the whole time. So at least letting go of that idea is a good start. So once you let go of the idea that you have to tense it, then you're on the right path. But then what you have to check first is, are you someone who needs to tighten your pelvic floor? Because at different times of our day, if you relax the pelvic floor completely, you'll end up wetting your pants or going to the toilet, right? So if you feel that your pelvic floor needs to be clenched, or you're going to go to the toilet, first thing you do is go to the toilet. And then once you've gone to the toilet and your bladder is empty or your bowels are empty, then my suggestion to people is relax your pelvic floor as if about to go to urinate, but not urinate. And of course, if you've been already, you're not going to. And it's that feeling of about to go and defecate without defecating, because you've done that already. And it's the idea that the pelvic floor has got three places, three states. It can either be constricted, which would stop things falling out of the pelvic floor, or it can be relaxed, but it can also be expanded. So when we defecate, for example, the anal mouth will expand. And that sense of expansion is beyond relaxation. So these three states are useful to play with. You tense your pelvic floor. We do enough. Some people might need it more, but rarer than most people think. Relax the pelvic floor and then slightly expand it, as if about to urinate, but not. As if about to defecate, but not. And, for men and women also, the genitals are in different places. So there's that feeling of, look, if you can do it, it's the feeling of almost about to have an orgasm, which sounds a bit funny. But that feeling of fully releasing the pelvic floor, not just by relaxing it, by actually doing something conscious. And, that's probably the best I can offer with that. But certainly getting out of the idea that it has to be tight the whole time, which is a problem for many people.
Thank you. Bless you.
Thank you
very much.
We're having a lot of comments of gratitude in the chat. Great warm up.
Thank you.
Relaxing and energizing. Thank you for the insight into this unconventional way of communicating with your body. Lots of thanks, just really lots of thanks. I'm going to stay on for a couple of minutes. I'm going to stop the recording to be so that the recording is on time. I'm going to unmute everyone so you can say goodbye or thank you in your own language so Simon can hear as well.
Thank you so much, Simon.
Thank you, Simon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Simon.
Simon,